Hello students and viewers. So today we are going to learn last chapter of your syllabus, that is chapter number 15, DNA replication. So DNA replication is the biological process of producing two identical replicas of DNA from original DNA molecule, right? So here we have, you can see, let me take this pen. Suppose this is DNA. From this DNA we are going to have our new DNA. So new DNA is exactly similar to that old, or we can say this is parent DNA, right? So this is exactly look similar to the parent DNA. Hence we are calling it as replica. Replica is nothing but what? Exact similar copy of that old strand or parental strand, right? And hence this word replica is word is there, and hence this process is called as what? DNA replication. So DNA replication means what? DNA going to form its own copy, own duplicate copy, right? So DNA replication occurs in all living organism, acting as the most essential part for biological inheritance. So we know that during this biological inheritance, all these DNA replication it's occurring, and this is a very important process, I can say, in a living organisms. Now, the DNA replication is semi-conservative. So why this word is semi-conservative? So semi means half and conservative means conservation. So half of the DNA is conserved in a daughter DNA, right? So whatever the replication is occurring in that, the one strand is the parental strand and the another new strand is the newly synthesized strand. So likewise half of the DNA is coming from the parental DNA, and hence the DNA replication is called as what? Semi conservative, right? Now this process takes place from one starting molecule to two daughter molecules, with each newly formed double helix containing one new and one old strand. So as this is going to form or going to give us one new and one old strand, and hence this process of replication we called it as semi conservative DNA replications. Yes, there are many types of DNA replications are there, but mostly in a major way this semi conservative method is going to happening. Now here I have mentioned, here I have given image of DNA replication, how it occurs, right? So see here, you are observing here DNA double strand. So for your convenience I have placed only total 6 nucleotide base pairs of this DNA strands, right? So let me change the color so that you will get the idea of it. So here you can see this is the first strand, this is second strand, right? We called it as what? DNA is double stranded structure, right? So why we are calling it as double stranded structure, right? Because it has two strands with them, and hence we are calling it as double stranded. DNA is double stranded, whereas RNA is single stranded molecule. So here see, these are the two stranded molecule in which, as I have explained all these things in my earlier lecture, a nucleotide base pair is going to pair with T. Adenine is going to pair with thymine with only two hydrogen bonds, right? Whereas G, you can see, you can look at this second nucleotide base pair, right? So here you can see guanine is going to pair with cytosine with three hydrogen bonds. So likewise you are observing here AGTTAG, right? So all these base pairs, they are pairing with opposite bases, with respective hydrogen bonds, right? So this is the DNA double helix. Now see, in the next process what is going to happen. In a first case we are observing what? We are observing all these strands, okay, the bonds between the these nucleotides, right? In the second image what we are observing is, here you are not observing these hydrogen bond between these nucleotide bases, right? So here hydrogen bonds they are breaks, and these two helix they are opens for further replication process, right? So these bonds they are breaking in a second step. Now what is going to happen in a third step, right? So in a third step now you can see each strand of DNA acts as template. Now see here, template, okay. So template, or you can say, you can say it as a old strand, or you can say it as parental strand, okay. It act as parental strand, it act as template strand for whom? For newly synthesized these molecules, newly synthesized this RNA molecule. So this is our old, or you can say this is our parent strand, or this is our template strand, right? So this is a complementary strand. The whatever the new strand is going to form, that is a complementary strand, right? So similar in case of this one. This is the parent strand. I will write only P. This is also a old strand, or you can say this is also a template strand, whereas this one is a complementary strand for this, right? So likewise, see here, here if this parent strand is from 5 prime to 3 prime, so our formation of new strand will be from again 5 prime to 3 prime. It's in a opposite direction, right? So always see here, this is again the direction for newly synthesized DNA molecule, and here again this is the 5 prime to 3 prime, this is again direction. You can check out these primes, right? So this is the parental strand. In upper one it is 5 prime to 3 prime. Just look at over here, 3 prime, whereas in this now this is a 3 prime to 5 prime, right? So likewise this is present. Now in a next step, see here, the replication produces two identical DNA. Now, okay, what is going to form? See here, identical DNA are this. This is the one DNA, this is the another DNA. So this is DNA number 1, which is exactly similar to above. Are you getting? So here you can see, even this is the base pair A, G, T, right? T, A, G, right? Let me change the color of my pen. So again you can see this second, this DNA molecule where the newly synthesized nucleotide bases, see here. Again you can concentrate A, G, T, T, A, G, right? So these are even the these things T, C, A, A, T, C. See here. All these things they are exactly similar, right? So here what we have to concentrate is, here we have to concentrate that this is the old strand, and this is also a old strand, and let me change again, this is a, I will write only N, this is the new strand, this is also a new strand, right? Whereas this is the this DNA number 1, and this is DNA number 2. So likewise this is the two identical DNA molecule is the result of replication, right? Now here we have the types of replication, right? So here the first type is conservative type, second type is semi conservative, and the third type is dispersive, right? So what is conservative replication, what is semi conservative, and what is dispersive type of replication? So here in you can see this in a conservative, this is the parental DNA, which is again a double helical in structure. Let me take the laser pointer. So here you can see this is the DNA double helical structure, right? So here you can see this is this part. This part you are observing, this is in a blue color, right? So one strand is a conservative, or one strand is act as the template strand, old strand, or parental strand, right? Parental strand for the newly synthesized the DNA, right? This whole intact DNA will act as a parental strand or a template strand for newly synthesized DNA or newly synthesized daughter DNA molecule, right? So hence we are called it, this type is called conservative, means intact DNA is conserved in next generation, and hence we are called it as conservative type of replication. Here again you can see in the next, after first replication, in case of second replication also you can see this, the blue DNA again undergoing the replication, where this 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 one is again intact old strand or the parental this DNA is formed as it is, it remain as it is, it conserved as it is, right? And then newly synthesized DNA molecule it is getting formed over here, and again newly synthesized DNA will form again two newly synthesized DNA molecules. So do remember, in case of conservative, the intact DNA is act as the template strand for the synthesis of the new strand, right? And hence we have to call it as conservative type of replication. Now, in case of semi-conservative, you can see here, this is the DNA double helix. Now, so as I have explained earlier before this slide, what I have explained, this one strand is act as parental strand, which is in blue color, and whatever the yellow colored strand, you just look at my pointer, yellow color strand, that is a newly synthesized strand, right? So here half of the DNA strand is from the parental DNA, and the half of the DNA strand, it is the newly synthesized strand, right? So half of the DNA is conserved, hence this type of conservation is called as semi conservative type of replication, right? You can see here in the next also, half the DNA is the parental one, and in yellow color it is newly synthesized daughter DNA is there. So again the same here, in case of in a second replication you can observe, in a second replication you will get this half of the parental and newly synthesized, whereas the second one is the entire newly synthesized DNA molecule, right? So likewise this is the semi conservative type of DNA replication. Now come to the dispersive. So when we have to call dispersive type of replication. So now you can see here, the in case of dispersive, what we are observing here, this small patches of blue color and small patches of yellow color. You just focus on my pointer, right? So this small point it is of blue color and small point it is of yellow color. So here it means that the half part is of parental one and half part is newly synthesized one. So likewise this whole DNA is made up of the patches of old and newly synthesized strand, right? So in case of this previous, in case of conservative and semi conservative, what we have observed, the entire strand, either it is of parental or the entire strand it is of the newly synthesized strand. But in case of dispersive, the one strand altogether, both of the strand, it is made up of the new and old DNA strand. right? Here is there is no question of old and new synthesized DNA strand, right? So here, as this is present in a patch like manner, this replication is called as dispersive type of replication. So you can just look at these diagrams here. Similar kind of these replication is going to occur in second replication, right? So in a patch like uh, work which is joined together, just like that, here it is, we are observing this type of replication, and hence this is called as what? Dispersive type of replication. Means it is just it looks like it is dispersed one, right? And hence this type of replication is called as dispersive type of replication. Now again, you can see in case of writing pattern, I have mentioned all these things. Now here you can see now exactly how this replication is starts, right? So here you can see this is the 3 prime end, and here it is 5 prime end, right? The opposite of it is, here it is 3 prime and here it is 5 prime, because these strands, they are anti-parallel to each other, and hence the primes are likewise, right? 5 prime to 3 prime, and opposite strand is from 3 prime to 5 prime. Now, so here you can see, let me take the pen now. Now here you can see this is the part, right, which is called as what? Replication fork. This is called as what? This is the replication fork, or the point from which the replication begins. Replication fork, right? So replication fork is the point from which replication begins. So here the replication fork is done with the help of helicase enzyme. Okay, which enzyme it helps? Helicase. So helicase does what? So helicase enzyme, it breaks the hydrogen bond between the nitrogenous bases, right? And replication fork is helps to have the replication process in a DNA molecule. So this replication fork will move. See here, I have also mentioned this part, right? So this fork is progressed in this way, right? And here you can observe that this is the 3 prime to, this is again 5 prime. I will give here 5 prime, right? And the newly synthesized strand will move from 5 prime to 3 prime. See, whatever this is the, in blue color, this is the old or the parent strand, right? And this is the newly synthesized strand, new strand, right? So here you can see this is the direction of newly synthesized strand is from 5 prime to 3 prime, right? So here this strand is called as what? Leading strand, because this is continuously progressing newly synthesized strand from 5 prime to 3 prime. Hence it is called as what? Leading strand, right? And this leads with the help of, are you observing somewhat green colored part, right? So this part is called as what? RNA primer. Here see, I have given this name RNA primer, which is in green color. So here is also green color, here is also green color. So this RNA primer, what it does? RNA primer, it starts this replication, right? They adds these RNA primers, they are added by the one of the enzyme primase. See, RNA primer is, again see, the enzyme name is what? Primase. So this RNA primer is added by this primase enzyme. So this primase enzyme, what it does? So it adds these uh, complementary RNA primers to the DNA strands, right? So as this RNA primer arises over here, it will lead to the formation of these newly synthesized strands, right? But this strand is called as what? Lagging strand. Here see, here we have given this name leading strand, right? And here we have given the name lagging strand. So lagging strand is nothing but what? It is a discontinuous strand. right? Here in case you are observing, there is no any patch like work, right? Means there is no any, see here we are observing two arrows like structure. Here is no such two arrows, here's continuous line is there, right? Here means what, this newly synthesized strand is continuously synthesized on this parental strand, right? Whereas in this we are observing the very small these uh, replicas of this DNA, and this, because of this strand is called as lagging strand. And whatever the fragment we are observing, as this fragment is discovered by Okazaki scientist, the name of this fragment is given as what, Okazaki fragments, right? So Okazaki fragments is nothing but what, these are the discontinuous DNA molecule which is again synthesized from 5 prime to 3 prime. Here you can see this is 3 prime, so obviously here it should be a 5 prime, right? So one part is leading strand and another part is lagging strand. Now, here you can see the separation of a portion of the double helix takes place at a site called replication fork, right? So here you can observing, this is the yellow colored image I have given. So this yellow colored portion is called as what? This is the replication fork, right? So as the replication of the separate strand occurs, right, the replication fork moves away and unwinds additional length of DNA. So as this will move, it will unwind. Unwind means it will separate. So as we are observing, this is the intact structure. So these base pairs, they are getting separated, means hydrogen bond which is present, that hydrogen bond is breaks, and hence these two strands, they are getting separated from one another, right? So replication fork is formed, and replication fork, hydrogen bond is removed by the enzyme helicase. Please remember, enzyme, which enzyme? Helicase enzyme, which breaks the hydrogen bond between these nitrogenous bases, and because of which this replication fork, the point which appears, and because of this replication fork, the replication process initiates, and here it will get easy way. See all these, suppose this hydrogen bond it will break, then these two strands, they will separate it out. This is the one strand, that is old strand. This is also a old strand, second strand. So these two will be separated out, and that will be act as a template strand for the another NEEF DNA, right? So here you can see this is the old strand. This is also 5 prime, 3 prime to 5 prime old strand, right? Here it is 5 prime to 3 prime, this strand, right? This is the one strand which moves like this, and the another strand that will moves like this, right? And now this is, we said it as leading strand, right? So here if it is a G, that is going to pair with a C. So likewise this pairing is occur, and this pairing is occur continuously, hence we are called it as leading strand, right? And here in this way you can see, here I have given this arrow also. So these arrows, they are in a discontinuous pattern, and hence this strand is called as lagging strand, right? Now next part you have to learn in case of DNA replication, which enzymes they are involved in DNA replication. So see here, this is the DNA ligase. I will give the numbering. Then DNA polymerase 1, then DNA polymerase uh, third, then this is the primase, right? Then here fifth number, that is topoisomerase, then single strand binding protein sixth, then again DNA polymerase third. Here I have again third number, I will not repeat it. So likewise there are again one more is there, yes, 7. Here you can see helicase, right? So all these 7 enzymes, they are involved in DNA replication. So here I will give you the function of each of these enzyme. right? So I will begin with this helicase. First, I will begin with this helicase. Let me take this laser pointed. You can see here, this is the helicase which is shown over here, right? So what is the function of helicase is it opens up the DNA at replication fork, right? So helicase enzyme, what it does, helicase enzyme, so helicase enzyme, it will going to break the hydrogen bond between nitrogenous bases, and hence this two double stranded DNA will open up, right? It will separates these two strands. Now the next is this single strand binding protein. So now this single strand binding protein, what it does, it coats around these DNAs, right? So this single strand binding protein, it attaches to this separated DNA molecule, and this happening around the replication fork to prevent the unwinding of this DNA, right? So this unwinding is stopped with the help of this single strand binding protein, right? Just imagine that helicase enzyme, it breaks the hydrogen, right? So there would be the chances of the getting fold, DNA molecule getting fold, right? So that folding is stopped with the help of this single strand binding protein. Means the whatever the separated DNA which is occurs, that separated DNA, means this part and this part, that should be remain as it is. So that is done by single strand binding protein. So this binding protein, they going to bind with whom? They are going to bind with these nucleotides of this strand, right? Parental strand. Now next, see, here you can observing topoisomerase. Okay, so see here, this is in green color, topoisomerase, right? So topoisomerase prevents the supercoiling. Again, see, are you observing this coiling, this DNA? So this topoisomerase, it prevents the supercoiling. So it is how it's going to prevent the supercoiling, because it remains ahead of the replication fork, right? So our replication fork is here, right? And you just see here, it's always ahead, means it's leading this process. Okay, so it's leading this process, and because of which the this supercoiling of DNA is, means, restricted, right? And because of which that it gets the easy chance or easy way to do the replication process. Next, see, primase. Next enzyme is what? Primase. You can see here, this is the next enzyme or primase. So primase synthesize RNA primer. See here, it's going to synthesize this RNA primer, and this RNA primers, these are complementary to the DNA strands, right? So primase enzyme, it adds the RNA primers. RNA primers are nothing but what? These are again the nucleotides. So these nucleotides, they helps or they begins this replication process, right? So if there would not be RNA primer, this will not, means synthesis of new strand will not be occurs. Means something should be there that should start this process. So RNA primer, they starts this replication process, right? Now see, next, DNA polymerase. So this is our next enzyme, DNA polymerase third. So DNA polymerase third, what it going to do? Here we have seen the primase enzyme, right? So DNA polymerase third, it extends these primers. Okay, they are going to extend these primers and adding this will add to the 3 prime end, and this make the bulk of new DNA, right? Means the DNA polymerase third, they are going to extend these RNA primers, and hence we are observing these lengthy strand of newly synthesized DNA, right? Now, you can come to the next enzyme, that is DNA polymerase 1. Okay, what is the main function of DNA polymerase third? It extends the primers, and hence we are observing the long strand of newly synthesized DNA. In case of DNA polymerase 1, these RNA primers now it's removed. See, it is totally opposite function played by DNA polymerase third. DNA polymerase doing what? It extends the primer which is added by primase enzyme, right? But DNA polymerase 1, it removes whom? It going to remove these RNA primers. So once this DNA RNA primer will remove, then what is going to happen? There would not be the increase in the length of newly synthesized DNA, right? So this is done by this DNA polymerase 1, right? So RNA primers, they are removed and these are replaced by the DNA by DNA polymerase 1, right? Now you can see the next, ligase. Ligase is just like our glue, right? So ligase is done what? What is the main function of ligase is? Here you can observing the one heading, that is Okazaki fragments. Okazaki fragments are nothing but what? Discontinuous fragments. So these discontinuous fragments, they are joined. They are joined with the help of what? They are joined with the help of this DNA ligase, right? And hence this continuous strand we are going to observe. So these fragments, they are joined with the help of DNA ligase enzyme. So please do remember the function of all these enzymes. Okay. So I'm going to repeat again once more. Helicase, it opens up the DNA. See here. Let me take the pointer here now. Helicase, you can see here in the blue color. It opens up the DNA. So how it going to open up the DNA? It's going to break the hydrogen, right? It's going to break the hydrogen bond between the nitrogenous bases, right? Then single strand binding protein. So this binding protein, they are present around this DNA, around the replication fork, to prevent the unwinding or rewinding of the DNA, right? It prevent the rewinding of DNA. Who? The single strand binding protein. Then come to the topoisomerase. Topoisomerase, it leads, right? It ahead to this replication fork, right? And hence it prevents the supercoiling. Okay, who is preventing supercoiling? Topoisomerase, right? Then primase, it adds the RNA primer, and which is complementary to the DNA strand. Then next, DNA polymerase third, it extends these RNA primers, right? And DNA polymerase 1, it removes this RNA primer and instead it replaces this RNA primer with DNA, with the help of this DNA polymerase 1, and the DNA ligase, it joins these fragments of DNA, right? So this is the enzymes which helps or involved in DNA replication, right? So again I have mentioned the points of each of these enzymes here in this uh, uh, diagram, right? So here you can clear cut see exactly how these enzymes are placed, okay, in this diagram, right? The one strand is lagging strand because it forms this discontinuous. See, this is the 1, 2, 3 discontinuous DNAs. Hence, we are calling it as lagging strand. Whereas leading strand, here we are observing continuous strand, right? And in yellow color, you can see DNA polymerase. Here is also in the upper one. Here is also in the lower one. Now see, this is the helicase. Then these are the single strand binding protein which are binds to this DNA. Then this is the topoisomerase. Then see, this is the DNA primase. Then these are the RNA primates, RNA primers which are added by this primase enzyme. Then DNA ligase which join these fragments, Okazaki fragments, right? So likewise, these are the position of different enzymes which I have discussed earlier in this previous slide. Now same what I have discussed, I have written over here in this slide the function of each of this enzyme. Now see, this is the leading strand. So leading strand is nothing but what? It is the single DNA strand that during the DNA replication it is replicated in the 3' to 5' direction. So please do remember the directions of this leading strand. Leading strand is always 3' to 5' direction, right? So this is the same direction as the replication fork, right? So DNA is added to the leading strand continuously, hence it is called as what? Leading strand. Whereas the lagging strand here, see, the DNA synthesis restarts many times. See, as the helix unwinds, so resulting in many short fragments called Okazaki fragment, and DNA ligase again see joins these Okazaki fragments together into a single DNA molecule. So who is doing the doing the function of like a glue? That is DNA ligase enzyme, which is going to join these Okazaki fragments. Now, what are these Okazaki fragments? So these are the short sequence of again deoxyribonucleotides which are formed at the lagging strand during replication. So these fragments are named so because these fragments were discovered by Reiji Okazaki, right? So likewise you have to remember what is the leading strand, what is the lagging strand, what are the Okazaki fragments. So now this is the homework assignment for you. See, I have kept this assignment here in my lecture so that I will get who all you are who is listening all my lectures. So this is the homework for you. Just I have mentioned here the these empty boxes where you have to mention the names of the particular enzyme as well as the names of these strands, right? So only I have given all these names in the top side here. See, all these names I have mentioned. Only you have to put up these names in a particular place, on a correct place, right? So this is your homework. Total 7. Even the fill in the blanks also I have given. So this fill in the blanks also you have to fill, as well as you have to fill these empty boxes. So this is the assignment which will be for 5 marks, right? So thank you very much. Yeah, if you have any kind of doubt, you can ask me. So thank you very much. Thank you.